All good. So we head into the first map. It's going to be Infernal Shrines with Battlefield and Dragonshire being banned out.
Yep, so no Dragonshire and no Battlefield. Instead, we go for Infernal Shrines, which leaves a couple of really interesting maps open, especially if SOA were to lose the first game. They could easily transition into the likes of Tomb of Spider Queen, but let's see for now. I mean, their record, despite saying 4-8, is not as bad as it looks, because they have shown us, especially in Phase 2, some awesome games in Infernal Shrines, especially against teams like Hot's Lady, or even against SBT. They looked surprisingly strong here.
Yes, they have. You have to remember that these stats are over both seasons,
True,
so therefore SOAs are a little bit negatively padded due to barely winning any games last season at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were basically on the level of Wukong Gaming last season, and you really have to keep that in mind. Like, they were subpar. They were not on the same page as the other teams were in Phase 1, but they stepped it up tremendously. Just imagine Wukong Gaming in Phase 3 just coming out in the middle field out of nowhere. That's how big of a jump SOA has made from Phase 1 to 2.
Indeed, they have. So, we're going to see Greymane as the first ban. Are we going to see? Yep, there's the Genji remove, which allows ESTAR to go immediately into their more standard Ariel first pick, and then they will pick up Valor or Cassia, whatever is left to them.
Exactly. No big surprises here, so it shouldn't really surprise SOA either. I think they basically had to anticipate it. What are they going to respond with here? I would love to see a Kel'Thas. Once again, I think it's a fantastic hero in Infernal. It is a fantastic hero to play with against the Oriel. We basically named a couple of reasons yesterday. We're going to repeat it again if he ends up getting picked. For now, we're going to focus on the Tassadar and the Arthas. Tassadar very powerful in a double support comp with Vala, but there's still Uther available.
Yes, there is. And Uther be good, Rhaegar as well. All of these are good heroes in the double support, and that is what we're going to see. We're going to see the Uther and the Ariel along with the Valor. Now, SOA can still go for Rhaegar TAS if it wasn't for the fact that ESTAR are likely going to ban it out.
Yeah, we have seen that phenomenon a couple of times in the past now, that when one team secures themselves a support alongside Oriel, doesn't really matter which one it is, they will ban out the remaining top 3 support to make it really hard for the enemy team to play a similar double support style, or to just keep everyone alive in general. And I'm pretty sure you're on the spot here if you predict a Rhaegar ban potentially for ESTAR. So SOA should definitely not choke here, but they've got a couple of aces up their sleeves, right? They play a fantastic Kharazim.
Yes, they do. So, for now, SOA should... Yeah, I was about to say... I was going to say ban out a main tank, but Sonya's fine. We saw how well it went last game. It's a solid ban in general just on this map.
Exactly. Sonya, really solid. So is Cassia. Could have definitely been a choice or an option for SOA. Especially with the Tassadar, I think Cassia could have had a lot more utility. The lifesteal, the additional protection would have been very scary.
Does allow him Rhaegar, though, and now they should run a melee assassin. I'm fairly sure, due to the fact that they're not going to get as much value out of an auto attacker. There's Lunara left, there's Tychus, kinda, Raider, Tracer. They could go for Tracer in that same style, but you'd want to get the maximum value out of having the Arthas on your side.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I wouldn't hate an Illidan Kel'Thas, for example, if they really want to go the same route again. It would give them great wave clear. Illidan could take over the solo lane as well, and while double support plus mage normally doesn't really get as much value as a double support plus auto attacker, it's still very nice to keep the KT alive, and KT is definitely one of the better solo mages to have in terms of fighting against double support.
Indeed, there is Dahaka.
Okay,
being picked up. That's some global, and they still go over Lunara. So the last pick's Rhaegar. Overall, comp looks fairly reasonable. It's not special. The Tassadar is basically going to have to go damage build, I think, to get maximum value.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, we're definitely going to see an Archon here. I can't imagine him going for Force Wall. The Archon may be an auto attack build, although we have seen more and more Psystorm. Yep.
Yeah, ESTAR going with what is becoming a little bit of their trademark right now, bringing back out the Ragnaros, and now they need a tank.
Yeah, really cool to see. Like, Ooze on the Ragnaros is a very, very scary force. You definitely can never let your guard down against that Ragnaros. Ooze easily becoming one of my most favorite players in the league as of late.
Yeah, would agree. So, reminder, guys, China Joy, apparently, in 10 hours and 30 minutes. This is where Garrosh will be playable. Keep an eye on Reddit. I'm sure if people find useful stuff, it will be on there. I'll be keeping an eye on Weibo, seeing if anything pops up on there that looks interesting, and if so, I will be posting it on Reddit as well and passing it on and tweeting it, etc.
Sweet.
Which is why you should follow me and Kendrick Swish on the Twitters.
Exactly. Go give us a follow. Go tweet at us. Go interact with us. Use us. Abuse us. Whatever you want to do. We're definitely going to try to retweet and reply to every single one of your tweets. We've had a couple of really, really cool tweets in the past showing us doggos watching HGC China. So here you get to see the next one.
You did mention abuse, though. If someone does tweet abuse at me, expect it back. I ain't go, oh my god, that is full. Yeah.
That is a packed crowd. I love it. And once again, we keep talking about it every single broadcast, but there's always going to be people who weren't watching in the previous broadcast, so we're going to mention it once again. HGC China, playing in the middle of a Chinese mall here in Shanghai, I believe? I think it was Shanghai.
I believe so. Shanghai, Shenzhen.
Yeah. Either way, in the middle of a mall, like, you can literally do your shopping, you can buy food and drinks, and then enjoy some of the finest Heroes of the Storm esports with your girlfriend, with your family, whatever you else have available. But for now, guys, we're going to focus on the first game between ESTAR and SOA. Everything's on the line here for SOA to make it up a couple of ranks. Alright, and on Infernal Shrines, our first battleground in this best of two, we're going to have ESTAR on the left-hand side in the blues, and they're going to be represented by FZ on the Anubarak, China #1 on Oriel, Good on Vala, Kid plays Uther, and Ooze on his Firelord on the Ragnaros.
On the right-hand side, it is SOA with Faye on Tassadar, Uncle G on Rhaegar, Tank Ovo on Dahaka, Spark BZ on Arthas, and Shy is playing Lunara. I'm Techa, this is Kendrick. We're bringing you game #1 of our second series of the day, and I'm going to start this with a very quick birthday shout-out to Kalaris. Happy birthday, friend.
Happy birthday to the Crusher of Cores himself. I love it. I definitely couldn't imagine a Heroes of the Storm scene without him. I can't wait to see him curse a couple of teams at the Western Clash. No, I'm just kidding. I hope no team has to suffer because of Dear James. But happy birthday, my man. Oh!
Down goes good. First blood. Going over to SOA. Potentially a turnaround. No, Tankovo gets out.
And that's exactly what SOA needs to do. Like, they need to abuse the oftentimes weak early game pre-level 7 that Oriel has to suffer from. Because only when she gets the Bursting Light will she be able to pump out those heals consistently. Before that, it has a rather high cooldown actually, so you can abuse the poison damage from Lunara, burst damage as well after a drag from the Haka. So really, really well done by SOA. Of course, First Blood doesn't really have the hugest of impacts, but it's a nice statement to make.
Yes, it is, as ESTAR continue to burn through the minions for the moment. The SOA rotations, though, currently far more aggressive, and they're getting a little bit more value out of these minions. Not in terms of XP, the XP's the same, but in terms of the pushing potential, the ammo they can drain. Good, nearly dropping a second time there.
Holy cow, yeah. Good taking a lot of hits here, but of course with the double support nearby, he just won't go down that easily. But you can really see what SOA is trying to do here. They're trying to out-rotate, out-soak their opponents. They have the better wave clear as of now with the Tassadar, with the Arthas as well. Nice poison harassment here over and over again. I really like this aggressive start by SOA.
As do I. It's very cool to see the beast so aggressive. We actually don't get to see it that often, so always a treat.
Always a treat indeed, and also, I like the way they're basically separating Lunara's damage already. Shy seems to be quite proficient on the hero. Nice double Howling Blast once again, and Shy immediately applying the poison onto the backline here. Retaliation damage coming in, but good dropping low once more.
Now Shy, though, getting stunned out, but he's still spread the poison. If he can get the W off, he's going to reset it on 3 people. His micro on this hero, his targeting is beautiful. Spreading out the damage, as Cloakham would say, be sure to attack multiple targets in the fight to maximize your poison damage before activating your W to refresh it.
Is that actually what Cloaken said? Did you learn the trailer?
But he did say that you should be attacking multiple targets in a fight in the in production video. Not in the production video, sorry, the spotlight video.
And if you take a look at one of the consequences here, look at that Howling Blast over the wall by SparkBZ. ESTAR did not have vision on Arthas, and that's why they take so much damage. But one of the consequences here from the constant harass by Lunara is the mana bars. Uther always out of mana. Anubrek using his shield so often, always out of mana. And Oriel dropping so low as well. SOA is on fire. However, 33 skulls already because Ragnos has been doing nothing but destroying skeletons.
Yeah, he's been struggling to do anything else, really. I will give a big shout out to Good. Despite the sheer insane amount of bullying he's been doing, he's been playing aggressively enough to give Ariel enough hope to keep people alive in these last couple of fights. Good job by him. Oh no, whiffs. Whiffs on the baits. Tassadar in trouble. Double stun and taken out. They didn't reveal themselves close enough to the Punisher and it didn't jump over.
Yeah, and those mistakes can really cost you if you give up that much XP, if you even lose a forward with the first Punisher, which is normally never supposed to happen, then you can really let your opponents snowball like crazy, and if your opponent's name is ESTAR, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, because ESTAR right now taking a big old lead in their level 7s. Punisher's still a bit low now, so they will leave that and back out. Overwatch banner, no esports, no esports life pillars. As we see China #1 rotating down to the mid lane to make sure they soak the XP. Top lane abandoned as they already have what they need.
Yeah, Bursting Light now, of course, available for Oriel, so her cooldowns on the healings are going to be drastically reduced. You also see the full grenade build, or excuse me, full multi-shot build for Vala. No surprises here. I mean, the multi-shot build, well, it's basically the safest build to go to because you cannot really miss a multi-shot unless you're doing a 360. Well, even then you could miss. You have to do a 180. Then you would probably miss. But yeah, it's also the best hope generator for the Oriel because you hit the most people with it. The more heroes you hit, the more damage you do, and that's more energy as a result.
Yes, it is. Vala shredding that AoE damage, takes a little bit of poison, but Ariel, once again, getting her energy back. Tick it up slowly bit by bit. You can see the auto attack's not doing a huge amount, but her own Sacred Sweep and the multi-shot from Vala are huge amounts of hope being added to that yellow bar underneath China #1. Speaking of yellow bars, hers is a little bit yellow as he takes some poison damage.
Oh yeah, they're taking a huge amount of damage here as well. And we have to mention, hold that thought here, China #1 in trouble.
Can they drag someone? They're going very aggressive onto this beautiful route by SparkBZ.
Kill already!
Ticking! China #1 survives and Rhaegar is punished. Vala still going for this, getting slowed, but she got a kill.
Oh, nice.
But in his own life.
Oh, and Ragnaros might have to say a word about this as well. The Molten Boulder doesn't hit, so the Meteor still dealing tons of damage on SparkBZ. He needs to be careful, and so does Fei Yi. He basically gave his life very recklessly earlier on against the Punisher, but this time he remains safe. But something I wanted to touch upon real quickly here, Tetra, is the potential synergy between Arthas later on and Lunara. The unfair advantage will get triggered constantly as long as Arthas has Frozen Tempest available.
Oh yes, it is a beautiful combo that we like to see, and Tassadar's of course going to help with this once he drops into Archon form, going to get those consistent slows. Everything synergizes. SOA's comp is not bad. The only reason they're behind right now is due to that big old aggressive push to the top lane by ESTAR, as they hit their level 10s.
Yeah, level 10s unlocked here for ESTAR. They go for Sulfurious Smash. We see a Molten Core here. I guess Ooze does not want to have any split pushing shenanigans here. Even going for the Sulfurious Smash. God. Uncle G in trouble. He feels the fire and the heat. He gets out though. Holy
Keep dodging, dip, dive, and dodge. Comes back in, careful friend. But yeah, Uncle G barely able to survive this as the aggressive Molten Core will halt this push quite a bit. Punisher already been taken. Nicely done. Very interesting move, but it worked out really well.
Yeah, Ooze was like, get out of my face, and he had a really strong statement there, by the way. We see Resonation at level 7 for Tassadar. Definitely a talent worth mentioning because we're more used to seeing Mental Acuity or the bigger range. This time we have Resonation, which causes attacks hit on people that are currently affected by Psystorm to be slowed by an additional 50%. So more crowd control available and more slows, more importantly, available for Tassadar as well. I'm not sure why the Legion, the Army of the Dead was popped here. SparkBZ definitely wanted to go for an engagement, but ESTAR, of course, when they see Arthas so far away using the ulti, they're just going to disengage.
As the Cocoon is dropped. This is aggressive. There's the Taper Strike onto the Tassadar, who is really far back. Drops the damage though, is able to reposition himself. The beautiful Aegis for now delays the damage. Good Ancestral, keeping Shy alive. It is now Tank Ovo who is the one in serious trouble. But
they all stay alive?
Ow.
No, wait, I definitely thought that Tank O was a goner here, but Fei Yi brought himself into this mess, right? He basically used this Dimensional Shift to dive right into everyone. Popped the Archon, had another Dimensional Shift ready, but he didn't use Disengage. Instead, he kept using it to go for the backline here. Beautiful Sulphurous Smash, and finally, Rhaegar is no more. And I do hate to say this, Tetra, but I think we're normally the most consistent, the most reliable players, Fei Yi and Uncle G, do not look very convincing today.
I would agree. They're not looking at their best right now. They need to refocus. Fei's been doing okay, but that positioning was questionable in the last fight. It's really down to Shy right now, who is just playing out of his mind, but he needs people to protect him. He needs that extra damage.
Exactly. And they also need level 13, the unfair advantage if they decide to go that route, with the Splintered Spear, with the slows provided by Arthas, and of course the Leaping Strike as well. That can have so much additional damage output, and that's exactly what SOA needs. When the supports are struggling a little bit, your assassins need to compensate for it, and Shy seems to be on a good day today. He seems to be bringing his A game, and he can definitely carry this. Let's see if he's going to be able to.
Yeah, they are still a talent behind, 2 levels behind, as 14 is hit by ESTAR, just after 12 is hit for SOA. So they are in a little bit of trouble. Adaptation is available for Dahaka. That is going to help. That front lining is going to be so useful. Once again, taking a little bit of pressure off of Uncle G and Fei.
Exactly. They need to get that level 13. They cannot contest the shrine. SOA, that is. They need to get value elsewhere. And why are they grouping around the middle? They should go bottom immediately. It's the furthest distance available for them. In the middle, you could always have ESTAR engaging relatively quickly due to the short walking distance. They have the Cocoon and a bunch of other tools to really lock you down. So, in my opinion, SOA should have gone for the bottom immediately and get the towers, maybe even threaten the fort. And finally, they're doing exactly that.
Yes, they are. They begin to shred through, moving forward. Here comes Kid from behind, a little bit of poke.
Okay.
FC, it is 5v1 here, basically, with Kid just in rage. He's just trying to be a distraction, but he's running away. There's the Cocoon, and Divine Shield keeps him alive. Cocoon is popped. But yeah, it looks like FC will survive here. Child number 1's not in the best position, but he's near enough to his base that he can go that way if he needs to, which he does.
On the right, we have Ragnaros. He was thinking about a flank here, but hasn't really used it thus far. He's still not visible. The Sulphur Smash is going to rain down and delete Shy.
Shy gets taken out. That's basically all of the damage of SOA. As Spark BZ is attempting to do some work in the backline, but he is alone, basically. And oh my god, nope, there we go. Killed off by the Spike Burst, as is Dahaka. And Tassadar is going to pull off the Duke of all time to escape. Uncle G, not so lucky with the bounce. Ooze, will he find him? No, he won't. Tassadar escapes, but he's the only survivor.
Yeah, the only survivor to tell the story of Lunara's deletion. So here's a couple of things that went wrong for SOA. Obviously, Uncle G on the Rhaegar was way out of mana. You could really see that he could not participate in that fight at all. And thus, his Ancestral Healing was not able to get cast. It was not like, you know, he was too late or his reaction was too slow. It was more like him not having enough juice in his doggo body. And that's something that must not happen. Shy playing such a great game, but once again, he relies on... plays the game on fire here. But he relies on his backline. They need to keep him safe. The moment Shy dies, the teamfight is over.
Nice cleanse on Spark BZ, allowing him to get out this time. Ancestral dropped on Shy, so he's a little bit healthier for this fight, as it was not proc last time. Drag missed by Tag Ovo, as Good is taking a lot of damage. Splinter Spear is available, Unfair Advantage is available, but Lunara is down.
And with Lunara being dead, that might actually be the core attempt here for ESTAR. Raining down shots of fire, meteors left, right, and center here. Ooze is absolutely causing a bloodbath here, and they're not letting go. They're chasing them down even to the bottom keep. Good! Just let go! No, have mercy!
No, just go through the gate. Go through the gate. You can juke him there. Shy number 1 is they're in a pretty rough position here, actually. The core is going down. Let's see what if they like. They should be able to do this. Lunara's back.
What are they doing?
Wasting so much time. Taz, get him. Keep him slowed. Keep him slowed. Keep the keep damage.
Oh, you
Don't
gotta
die.
be kidding
Baby
me.
a noob. He's baited them all. Lunara, save your core, friend. Doing so much damage. Ooze dropping down. Rhaegar's here as well. 24% on the core.
Take the game already.
But Kid is full health. This is probably still enough. They're dropping low, but they're too tanky.
Wow.
And that is, despite their best efforts to throw that, GG and ESTAR takes game number 1.
Happy faces and smiles on the side of ESTAR. They definitely toyed with their prey a little bit here. Guys out there, that's not the way you're supposed to go for a core. It was definitely ESTAR calculating it all. They had a close eye on the death timers here, and they knew that they could definitely take home the game, even with having a little bit of fun, you know. So,
you should not take that risk, though. That
That's
kind of risk in a
No.
professional game
No.
is straight up a misplay. Yeah, you can have fun, but they cut that close. Everyone got low.
Close to the point where I would even call it bad manners, because, you know, it's a little bit
I call it
questionable.
bad manners. I call it bad play.
Bad play, too?
They really did mess that up hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's still very likely, like, even if they all had died there, it would have still been very likely for them to win the game after all. But let's put it this way. ESTAR is going to face Korean teams at the Eastern Clash. If they go for this kind of recklessness and this kind of behavior, teams like Tempest, teams like MVP Black, they're going to say, thank you, you know what? We're going to crush you from there on. We're going to snowball out of control, and we're going to get back into the game. So I don't want to see this kind of approach again. Let's put it this way.